told you that spending an extra 10 minutes a day on building a healthy brain could jumpstart multiple areas of your life. Many of the daily practices for improving your cognitive function are either promoters of building a healthy brain if done right, or detractors if advice isn't followed. In this way, small changes can make a big difference to how well your brain functions and how productive you're able to be as a result. Happy people tend to perform better than their unhappy peers. So rather than thinking of it as I need to become successful to be happy, try flipping the script on that and looking at it as I need to become happy to be successful. Compassion for oneself and others helps people to be able to set more realistic expectations. A more balanced outlook on reality contributes to a happier overall sentiment and positions people to confront ongoing challenges. This compassionate and empathetic approach is also the cornerstone for a growth mindset. As such, people who are compassionate and have a growth mindset tend to learn skills better and become more competent. A growth mindset helps people to focus on a vision of the future and how to improve instead of focusing on failure and getting stuck in that cycle. This vision of the future is still founded in a practical sense of the current reality. There have been many studies about vision done on athletes and other types of high performance individuals that show that having a strong vision for the future can get you a long part of the way to achieving your goals. So how can you improve your compassion? A Harvard study showed that daily meditation can grow the gray matter in your brain having to do with compassion and self-awareness and shrink those having to do with stress. This is also true for gratitude. A daily gratitude practice has been shown to shrink the areas of gray matter having to do with depression and anxiety and grow those having to do with compassion for the self and others. A beginner meditation practice has been shown to be much more successful if done in shorter duration. And this daily practice still achieves many of the benefits that meditation is known for. So short and sweet is key. If you're looking for a guided option, the app Headspace has beginner meditations for free starting at only 3 minutes a day. If sitting still is your issue, why not try active meditation like knitting, woodworking, doodling, or puzzling? Active meditation has been shown to be incredibly effective because it triggers 3 of the brain's most important mood hormones. Serotonin is increased with repetitive behaviors, dopamine is linked to a strong sense of accomplishment, and oxytocin can be triggered if these things are done socially. It's like taking a happy pill without any of the unwanted side effects. Negative stress is terrible for the brain. It dramatically reduces its functionality in key areas like memory, cognitive function, and decision making, and emotion regulation. When we're in situations of constant or high stress, much of the advice comes back to avoiding the stress. Just take a break or go on a vacation. But this advice is not only often very impractical, it's not really backed by science. Stress is like a tunnel. Once you're in it, you need to go through it to get out of it. This is called completing the stress cycle. What are some things we can do to complete the stress cycle? We can use deep breathing. In for 5, hold for 5, out for 10. We can get physical affection like a hug. We can cry without shame or laugh, especially with others. Moving is a really good way to do this. You can stomp your feet or punch a pillow if exercise isn't an option for you. You can also tighten all the muscles in your body, hold them for 10 seconds and release. Repeat as needed. And then of course, get some sleep. Sleep loss is a chronic stressor in itself. Even after just one night, even after just 1 hour. Daylight savings time could be considered a worldwide sleep experiment. One study showed that hospitals reported 11% more depressive symptoms after the fall time change. Multiple studies have shown an increase in heart attacks after the time change when we lose an hour of sleep, and strokes are 8% higher in the few days following the time changes in both directions. Disrupting your circadian rhythm has also been linked to higher rates of cancer. In many countries, hazard pay is given for people who work the night shift to compensate for this impact on your health and your lifespan. Interesting to note on studies with daylight savings time is there was a negative impact on both the time changes where you gain an hour and where you lose an hour. It's clear clear that a regular sleep schedule is important, not just getting enough sleep. Even when it comes to sudden infant death syndrome, there's a phenomenon called the weekend trend, where more babies die of SIDS on the weekend. The theory being that disruptions to the baby's sleep schedule cause higher death rates. Some tips for better sleep. Do at least a 3-minute workout right when you wake up in the morning. Only 3 to 4 minutes is enough to change the hormone levels in your brain, a cortisol reset. Elevated in the morning and drops as the day goes on. A quick workout in the morning moves the brain into wakefulness and starts the day cycle. So even if you prefer to do your workouts in the evening, getting a few minutes in the morning will ensure that your brain chemistry is primed for sleeping by bedtime. There's no other time in the day where working out positively affects your sleep as much as it does in the morning. Bump your workouts up to 10 minutes and you get more positive effects for your overall health. Studies have shown that breaking up the recommended 30 minutes of aerobic exercise in the day into 3 10-minute segments can give you the same health benefits. Sleep in a cold room. Sleeping in a cold room is not only good for your sleep, but it's positive for your health in various ways. Sleeping in a cold room has been shown to increase the amount of brown or good fat in your body and decrease the amount of white or bad fat in your body. This creates a cascade of health benefits in addition to those associated with better sleep. Spend some time outdoors during daylight hours. A quick walk will help your body's circadian rhythm to synchronize and improve your levels of vitamin D. You can also sit by a window or try light therapy. Low levels of vitamin D have been linked to depression, bone loss, weakened muscles, muscle pain, as well as fatigue. Speaking of sleep, did you know there are 4 times the level of melatonin in your gut as in your brain? The bidirectional communication between your brain and your gastrointestinal tract, known as the gut-brain axis, is based on a complex system, including your vagus nerve, but also the sympathetic, endocrine, and immune systems, as well as the microbiota. It connects emotional and cognitive areas of the brain with gut functions. Proving that food is medicine, the hormones and peptides that the gut-brain axis releases into the bloodstream cross the blood-brain barrier. The brain-gut axis produces more than 30 neurotransmitters and has more neurons than the spinal cord. Brain foods include healthy fats like avocado, walnuts, oily fish, coconut or olive oil, blueberries and other superfoods high in antioxidants, and things like dark chocolates which have riboflavins. All these kinds of foods are very neuroprotective. See a functional medicine doctor to figure out sensitivities and deficiencies. Inflammation causes stress in your body, and stress causes inflammation. Keeping your stress levels low includes cutting out foods that cause inflammation, sugar being the worst culprit. But if you believe you have allergies or intolerances, it's important to get these taken care of as well. In addition to the positive effects of nutrition, stabilizing your metabolism is also important, so keep carbs to a minimum. Cultivate a positive peer group. It has been said that we are the average of the 5 people we're closest to. This can be partially attributed to mirror neurons. It is not uncommon to see people come to success with their friends. For example, did you know that Johnny Depp and Nicolas Cage knew each other before either of them found success? In studies of people with Alzheimer's disease, they found that those who had learned new skills across their lifetimes were able to avoid many of the symptoms of Alzheimer's, in some cases almost completely, even with the same levels of amyloid plaques as those who had experienced advanced symptoms. This was because developing new skills had forged new pathways in the brain, and the brain rerouted functionality through these pathways. The more new skills you learn at any point in your life, the more connections your brain is able to choose from to find the speediest route to mastering new skills. As you can see, brain improvements are interlinked. Making a little progress on one will have a knock-on benefit on the others and set you up to learn better, be more creative and strategic, be more emotionally resilient, and therefore influence others more, and be overall more productive through improvements in focus. If those aren't the building blocks for success, I don't know what is. Making a few small adjustments and spending only 10 minutes or less in your day on daily brain improvements can make all the difference. If you're looking for more tips on how to be productive, check out this video on how to set and achieve goals like a chief strategy officer. As ever, have fun with it.